Vigilante Williamson here on the 5th episode of Late Saturday Night with Vigilante Williamson. I appreciate anyone who's watching this live or on the playback because we know notifications work sometimes. Some people are saying they get them. Some people are not. Not only that, people just don't, you might be up or out or, doing something right now. And I appreciate anyone who watches this show back or any of my live streams back. Did not do a show on Thursday. Last week I was talking about, giving it some time and potentially taking a step back. I've semi-revised that to the extent that I'm just gonna do less. I still want to keep Thursday and Saturday, and maybe I should tweet about it more. I don't necessarily know if people are checking for my stuff, so maybe I should tweet / use the discussion. I don't know if it's quite like the whatever it is on YouTube. I'm not sure if everyone would see the discussion tab. I don't know. But let people know when I don't do shows and when I'm not going to do shows. But I still want to try to keep Thursday and Saturday. And in general, I'm just going to not approach this with growth in mind. I'm just going to not give a damn about hashtag growing my channel and growing my brand. Not to say that, I still want to, just like the Culture Crime Fighter, that's a good show that me and Matt do. It's on Spotify and iTunes. It's not necessarily a plug, but like I have to make sure I upload or I got to send out some of the older episodes so there's enough stuff up there. I should probably try to get the Vigilante Williamson show, all those back episodes, 63 of them. So, of course, 63 Illuminati confirmed. But it's in the 60s. I don't know what number it was at. And I haven't done that in a few months because I still haven't done my review, which hopefully will be done this week since I'm off. Start a new job again in about a week or so, the day after Labor Day. So the 7th. So I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about this show. There's a few things I want to talk about. But yeah, as far as the schedule, the Vigilante schedule, and just me, I haven't been on camera in a while. That one is because I'm just enormous, and two is because I'm reorganizing my schedule. I am reorganizing my schedule, reorganizing my studio, and for my schedule, I'm just gonna hey, when I'm not feeling it, just let everyone know, or try to let people know on Twitter. But again, thank anyone who's been riding with me as I figure things out. You guys are like the best group of people on earth. I feel like I have to do 100 shows because of Ogre Squasher. Thank you again, Ogre Squasher. Whether you're watching live or not, he gave me a massive tip, just a tip, on Matt's show yesterday. He's given enormous tips throughout this channel's existence, and has been a major contributing factor of things being upgraded from microphone cables to green screen, which I don't use because I think I'm too big for it. I'm taking up so much of it. That's another, well, at least for where it is, because it has to kind of be close because it's not that big. I don't know. But I mean, a lot of the things that I've been able to do to fund this channel have been through him. So thank you. Seriously, thank you. And everybody else. The other day, there was quite a few super chats without Ogre Squasher, and that was fairly substantial. So thank you for that as well. But for today's episode, I kind of wanted to talk about what I was doing right before this. I was watching Angry Joe's Madden review. And I think there's a lot to take away with Madden NFL football. It's a video game for those who don't know, because I know not everyone's a gamer. But it's fairly popular. Now, I think there's a lot to take away from what's happened with Madden over the course of its history, and the entertainment industry, and a lot of people's, I think this is a culture war. I think it's a little bit more than I think it might be a spiritual war, but at least for pop culture, it's a culture war. There are people who want better entertainment, and there are some good entertainment. We talked about Netflix's Witcher cartoon. Was it something of the Wolf? It was a Vesemir prequel, and it was really good. So there's good entertainment, and they also have Transformer series I need to get back into. Hopefully, we can get back into it this week. Lots of good stuff. There's some good stuff. It exists, but we know we have a lot of craziness coming down the pike. We've had a lot of craziness this year. We had WandaVision. In fact, I was watching Mahler's review of Black Widow, and he just runs down all the Marvel stuff that came out, and it was all terrible. I haven't seen What If. I can't tell you if it's good or bad. Heard mixed things about it. But we know about The Last Jedi. We know about a lot of stuff. Charlie's Angels, Dark Fate, Ghostbusters 2016. Entertainment has taken a nosedive. And we as fans want that to change. And I look at what happened with Madden. Past 20 years almost. I think it was 2005, the last time they had it technically came out in 2004. So since 2004, NFL 2K5 and Madden 2005, that's the last time they did not have the exclusive license for the NFL. And as a result, the game has suffered over the nearly 20 years, 15, 16 years. And no matter how much the fans have screamed, no matter how much the fans have cried, enough people have bought Madden and bought now, in the digital age, they can sell these Madden packs so you can play online with your favorite players. And enough people have compensated EA to where they don't have to change anything. There are glitches in this game that are 4 or 5 years old. And it's funny to watch the memes. I haven't bought the game in so long, like 2012 or 11 or something. And there's all these memes and videos, and Angry Joe had a review. Ryan Moody is a great channel if you're into that stuff, to see kind of the failures of Madden. And all of this is happening, and all of this has happened for years and years and years, and it doesn't change, and it's not going to change. It will never change. There's no means for it to change, especially with the compensation that they get from the fans, for the people who pay for it. People who pay every year, they complain, but all those are purchased. Now, if in the case of Madden, I believe it may be something that got taken off of the PlayStation Store. I'm not sure if it's back, and they've had to do refunds. But I don't think that's really going to change things. They may have it less buggy, but they're never going to present like an earnest product because they don't have to. They're sort of the only game in town. Now, with entertainment, they're not the only game in town per se, but there is a conglomeration. And there is, we have this platform. And hell, Wookiee Lives Matter. First guy in the chat. Appreciate you being here. This is kind of an impromptu show. I was spending all day rearranging my studio, so I didn't get this up till later. And shout out to the aliens that Wookiee Lives Matter has in his chat. What was that going on? I know it was something about Madden. Oh, I was talking about how the entertainment industry doesn't have the same guaranteed compensation that Madden does. But they do have a conglomeration. And they do have a platform that is, they're even attacking guys like Paulie. I'm sure a lot of you have seen. He has a community strike for an ages-old video that's been a part of the platform forever. And maybe it was a flagging by a hater. Maybe it was the algorithm. Who knows? But it's very easy for people who don't want competition to get rid of specific YouTubers and still keep that even on brand. If you look at YouTube as an alternative, I think a lot of people at one point looked at Netflix as an alternative to Hollywood, but it's just another branch of Hollywood. Just another branch. Oh no, Wookiee. Censor myself for YouTube, and now I feel dirty. What'd you have to censor? I mean, we all say whatever, the coof and stuff like that. So I guess we all do it. Don't feel bad, man. Don't feel bad. It's not your fault, man. But it's it's a lot of BS. So yeah, they don't have the same situation as Madden as far as the entertainment companies, but they have no more incentive to change than Madden does as far as EA goes with Madden. They really don't. And there's still big money deals in TV. There's still a lot of money getting tossed around for TV. We saw what happened with South Park. $900 million for South Park? It's a lot of money. Kurtzman getting 150 whatever million. And hey, Kelly D, appreciate you being here. Hey. Hey. It's money getting tossed around. Money getting tossed around the TV. Advertisers don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to market their products without a thriving television business. And so they're willing to throw a lot of money at the scraps. Or at least the networks are. And then I guess tax the advertisers. Who knows? Got a strike for hate speech. Cut off the hateful memes and replace them with YT friendly memes. Which memes were hate speech? And I wonder if I'll be, you know what? I wonder if any of my old stuff will get community struck. I do get stuff that not as community struck, but like it'll say, oh, this is age restricted, old videos, year-old videos, stuff like that. So, I mean, if you look at a lot of the original videos, which were a lot more news-based, and you remember how crazy 2020, not that 2021 isn't insane, just as insane in its own right, but a lot of violence and stuff. So a lot of that coverage got age restricted. Okay. Whatever. But they're striking people. They're trying to take channels down. Memeology lost its channel for a little bit. I think it's back up. So they can get rid of competition as far as Hollywood, entertainment, mainstream. So they still kind of have a conglomerate. I consider Netflix and Amazon and all these platforms just a part of the machine. They're just a part of the machine. And say what you will about the evil empire. Oh, the mouse. They went, 6-7 months, maybe longer than that, having new content since the first episode of Mandalorian. Every week they've had something new. And now they're a player in the digital world. And they're trying to, that's going to replace TV eventually. That's where everything's linking. I don't know if they figured a way to make money off of it like they want to. Because Netflix as the leader, well, I think Amazon's the leader now. And it, because of Amazon Prime, which not everyone uses for that platform, but that's neither here nor there. Netflix is the bellwether, so to speak. That's the one who pushes the streaming concept forward, and for them to barely be making money most of the time, only making money when they don't have to fund production, you do worry about like, okay, how is this going to fund itself? But even with that said, they still, even because they have no incentive to change, they can hide those numbers. Whether or not a show brings in numbers to, I mean, obviously, like I said, the weeks and weeks and weeks brought a lot of numbers to Disney Plus. So shows do make a difference. They do have to still make content for that. They do have to still pay. But I think a lot of investors are willing to just fund companies that are in the black because they sound nice. There are a lot of companies that either have projects that put not on black and the red. There are a lot of companies that aren't profitable, that don't come into profitability, but still are held up by their stockholders. That happens quite a bit. And so I think the streaming concept, if they can just keep telling us a huge sub number, they can keep making subpar content. They can keep making normie bait. They can keep making subpar content. As long as there is a normie base to kind of push things going. Keep things going. Push things along. There's enough normies to watch. Oh, it's Marvel. I'm going to see Loki. I'm going to, pay $30 to see Black Widow. Maybe you don't believe the numbers. Maybe you do, but allegedly $60 million were made. So what's that? Was it $30? So put $2 million? 2 times. Yeah, 60. Yeah. So at least 2 million families want to see Black Widow. Ain't nothing. Guys, I said this, but hell, Nelson the Gentleman. Hell to Vigilante of the Kingdom of Williamson. Man. Speaking of Vigilante Williamson, apparently there's a guy in wrestling named Odyssey Jones. I mean, I got it from a wrestler. The concept of having like one name is just like something in their last name. And now it's just like, yeah. Which was Odyssey Jones instead of Vigilante Williamson. Oh well. Oh well. But yeah, and on to the Madden thing. I think another reason I said what I said last week about kind of wanting to take time off or do things differently is just, I feel like a lot of people yell at Madden the same way, and want it to change. They want Madden to do something differently, and they spend so much time yelling at them. And they may genuinely want them to change, but I just don't see how it happens. Like, what makes it happen? What would lead them to change? In the same way, what would lead the entertainment industry to change? Why won't they push agenda? Why won't they do like what the actress for Faith Valentine did the other day and berate the fans for wanting her to look accurate to the property? Why? What's the incentive? If you think it's just us not spending our money or yelling at it, it isn't. It sincerely isn't. They have enough wiggle room as far as time in Hollywood to keep this experiment going. Because again, the streaming service deal is still an experiment. They still got enough wiggle room for that, and they have enough power to keep pushing this bullshit down our throats. And even if we ignore it, we'll just be people who aren't paying attention. They're cool with negative publicity. Kevin Smith told you that. So what changes it? And the answer is nothing. They're not going to change. So in the case of Madden, the NFL license is the NFL license. There's nothing you can do to get that back. I know they're trying to do, alternatives. There are alternative football games and stuff like that. But there can be alternatives for us. The day there's fan fiction for the Rippaverse, or Space Crime Domino, which is Kai MFS's book. Gotta promote the internal, or Vinny Arts, one of his projects, right? Or Cyberfrog or whatever. The day there's quote unquote fan fiction, and I mean fan fiction, I shouldn't say fan fiction, fan films and things like that. And then you can make those into more official, because those people who have put that effort and have that passion for it then get made, to something official. That's the day that we start to actually make headway. There's a lot of headway and people kind of being aware of it. And that's a double-edged sword. The one edge being that you almost become a meme where you're always looking for it, always talking about it. You're so hyper-focused on it, you can't enjoy anything. And you almost train people in that way. That's not a good thing. But yeah, you can definitely let people know, hey, this is happening. They're doing woke things to our franchise. They're doing this, that, and the third. This isn't about and Kai MFS, you speak of him and he shall appear. I was just talking about your book. Hell, Kai, I was talking about once we have fan films for your book, that's the day we turn things around. Because I think the entertainment industry has nothing. I don't think they have no reason to change. So we need to stop looking at them to change and look at guys like you who are creating, being the change you want to be in the world, creating the new properties. I believe YouTube wasn't specific. It's just dangerous. Again, these motherfuckers are evil. They can do shit like that. They can take down Vigilante Williamson and not be specific. Turning things around on Monday, bro. What do you mean? What's going on Monday? And you know what? Like I'm recently trying to switch things around with at least my channel. But I'm not sure if you mean turn things around relative to something you're working on. I'm really interested. But yeah. I don't know what I know what we do. We gotta support, like I said, Kai MFF. We gotta support a lot of people. We do have to still talk about it because more people. Oh, got a big announcement. Oh man. What time so we could just promote it because I'm interested. That's cool. Cool. Good luck and God bless with what's going on, whatever's going on, Kai. Um, that's really cool. That's really cool. Really cool. I hope it's positive at least. Um, but yeah, we do have to talk about it to make people aware. But we also have to, realize not everyone's gonna be, and I'm not even always on everything. You saw me have my little hashtag Symphosymu stream. I was like a little bit more positive to the Shang-Chi mess than everybody else. I didn't really talk about in that episode about my feelings on the Bob Chapek thing. I did say that last week on a couple of the casuals. 4 p.m. Pacific. I'm going live on another indie author's Instagram to make the announcement, but I'm going to blast on social media. Okay, really cool. Really cool. And it's really cool you're linking up with all the indie authors. You guys are the future. You guys are the future properties that are going to make the human condition move forward because they're not going to come for corporations. They're not going to come to book. Even if you keep things as a book, we know how corrupt the publishing industry has become or has always been. As far as publishing is and how publishing houses are hard to get deals with, even if you have a quantifiable work. So, I mean, it has to be independent. It has to be this, whatever independent route you have to go. That's the way it has to be done. So, congrats. I wish you the best with that. Because, we need you. We need you. Entertainment is not going to change. Entertainment is not going to change. I appreciate everybody being here. We got 5 people. It's a little slow start. 4 people. I'm sorry. Twitch always shows like one person because I do simul stream this to Twitch. It always shows like a ghost one person, and I don't know why it does. I always think, oh, there's an extra person, and that person just isn't there. But please like and share if you haven't already. Sharing is indeed caring. And shout out to Kaylee D for tweeting about me. Appreciate it. Thank you. Already sharing. Remember, sharing is caring. Not sure how long this episode is going to be. It's going to be longer than 23 minutes. I'm going to still talk and ramble. But maybe do gaming. I don't know. Kind of made my point. It's you know what? You realize how much chat interaction you cannot take that for granted. You cannot take the fact that people interacting in chat for granted because that's what keeps shows going. And Kelly D's telling us everyone to smash the like button. And hell, just another red shirt. He's not just another red shirt. He's the red shirt. It's actually looks like it's a picture of him. I'm so used to, like a red shirt emblem or something like that. It's a bit of I don't know, just different. Now I'm doing what I say I don't want to do. I don't want to just be reading bombing. I'm just trying to see if there's anything interesting. Oh Jesus! I'm like, I see them talking about something about Gina Carano. You guys prove to me if there wasn't a conservative slant, I don't know if she'd be as popular, and I definitely feel that now, especially when they're just talking about what she thinks about leadership. Man, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I don't accept. I have even crazier theories than everybody else around how this country's really led and has been led, the entire time. That's another can of worms for another day. They're just talking about that. They do have the Cowboy Bebop. I've referenced it. Did everybody see the Cowboy Bebop thing? There was a video on Twitter where the actress who played Faye Valentine just sarcastically berates fans because it's but women aren't women aren't shaped that way. Okay, whatever. The outfit. I mean, there's proof of her in different outfits. She has skimpier outfits on her Instagram. I think the same platform she used to post that video. Than what will be required for favor, whatever. Instead of just saying, "Hey, a lot of people are upset about the new look, but you wait till you see a show, you'll love it." If people would have just, if she would have said something like that, that'd be fine. And Kai, she was, oh yeah, she was big. She was huge in MMA, but like, I think a lot of where she got popular the past 4 or 5 months before, or the last 4 or 5 months before she got fired, maybe a little longer than that, had to do with her opinion, the beat bop boop, and she had a lot of conservative leaning opinions, or non. I shouldn't even say conservative leaning because I don't non-leftist, just non-leftist opinions, a lot of which I agree with. I'm not totally in disagreement with her. But I actually, the reason I said that a few weeks ago, I asked a question in chat. It was actually the day before her movie was announced. I said, "Hey, if Gina Carano was canceled in a neutral way, similar to Chris Pratt, do you think she would be as popular?" And I did preface it like, because I like Gina Carano, but I'm not as like stand out as everybody else. And I asked it, and people started to leave. And I thought that was pretty strange. So I'm like, in my head now, I'm like, okay, I wonder if I was wrong or something. There, all my most violent, hateful memes are in there. Watch out, or you could be extremized. That damn wrong thing. Sup, colonizers? She was the hottest thing about the Mandalorian. That was before all that. I tend to agree with that too. It was definitely obvious if you watched the second season that she was supposed to spin off into her own show. That was obvious. They definitely focused on her, and she was pretty good in the show. Buzz, 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 buzz. And that's on launch. Showed up on screen. People were like hearts. Yeah, the first season she was pretty popular as well. Extreminalized. I was like that, but I probably misread that. She has said she always hated bullies, and that's what set her at odds with the woke cancel culture Twitterati. Yeah, I know how it happened. My point was, if there seems to be a lot of popularity about her, and I'm not knocking it, God bless her. I'm just questioning. I'm not even as someone as in disagreement. Just like, okay, if she was canceled for a different reason, would she got more popular after being canceled? And the people, and not just popular as far as people who know her, but like intensity from fandom. And would it have happened if it was a neutral thing? Chris Pratt got canceled for nothing, for not going to a fundraiser he probably wasn't invited to. And if it was something similar to that, would she be as popular? That was my question. Not even, like I said, me and Central Dildo have talked about her acting. He's a lot more negative than I am. As he says, sub to the nerders in the chat. Tell you one of those black white supreme. Oh boy, apparently there's a lot of them. Who would have thought? That's another can of worms, man. Golly, I hate the mainstream media. But you know what? This has been a long time coming. This thing, and it's always goofy. To quote Cinch and Dildo, and I know he's not just him. Why women or why people, mainly women. Because as I've said many a time, feminism has hated the black man ever since Gloria Steinem got pumped and dumped by Jim Brown. But just, oh man, if you black white supremacists, 1.5 million black people have moved to Texas, Florida, and Georgia combined over the past year. And those are all, basically red states. Now, in the case of Georgia, you do have Atlanta, to be fair. And actually, all those states have major cities, and there's a tendency, even though we're getting a little bit more suburban and exurban, I'm gonna be moving to Texas over the next year, hopefully, ideally, because I have a remote job out there that I've talked about, and so I'm gonna add to that number. But I guess they're all black white supremacists. How dare they want to be in a Republican ran state? That's like 5 or 6% of I think the black population all move into that in that type of area, or into just those 3 states. I'm not sure about other red states, but it's just that's not a part of the narrative. Larry Elder, he's running as a Republican. He's a black white supremacist. Don't you know? I love to see one of these white supremacists and black conservatives on stage having a conversation with 2 woke people, white and black as well. See how that conversation goes. That would be gold. Sounds like something that Chappelle would do as a sketch back in the day. Like if the Chappelle show existed today, he would have something like that. Yeah, that's what they think. Anyone who voted, or you know what? Because I don't know if I'll ever vote again. I think I'm done with it. But anyone who didn't vote for their guy or didn't do their Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks. Hey, Vigilante, says Mad's Mama Bear. Hey, Mad's Mama Bear, says Vigilante. So black conservative. So one black conservative, one white supremacist, and 2 woke people, 1 white, 1 black. By the end of it, the Washington supremacist defending the black guy. Who knows? Who knows? No, by the end of it, the woke white guy and the woke white supremacist will agree with each other and start making out. Even if they're the same gender. So blackface or white supremacy is just PSA way of saying house and word by the establishment themselves. So maybe they're not the house and words. Maybe they're the ones trying to run away from the plantation. Black white supremacists. It's a reference to Larry Elder. He's running for the governor. I'm not sure how it's going out in California because I haven't been paying attention to those. But he's running for the governorship of California, and I believe it was CNN. Could have been New York Times. Saves the blackface of white supremacy by doing that, by running as a Republican, basically. I think there's more to it, but that's what they're referring to. Howdy, y'all. Howdy, Pop Culture Republic. It looks like something about the half an hour mark where people start to come in. So I kind of got to reset a lot of stuff I was talking about, which I will. Everyone's saying hi to each other. Like in South Park, let's all get back in the pile. Couldn't vote for the person I wanted to because she wasn't on the ballot. I would have voted for Tulsi Gabbard. Larry Elder is leading by 20%. He's killing it. Okay, so it's still going on. Hope he wins. I want the woke fucker that told me about how black people are just like oysters. Spit that shit to anyone not Caucasian. I'll pay money to see that. And you. Yeah, that shit pisses me off. Yeah, Larry scares the hell out of Cali Democrats, hence the vicious hit pieces. Yeah, it's just evil. It's really evil. But one time in my life, don't see myself doing it again. So you guys can do what you want, but I'm with Cinch and Dildo on this one. I'm done voting. Air July say he doesn't vote, and I understand why. And I have even less reason to vote than everyone else because it's like I think this shit, everything's a fucking work. I think this is a mess, like so much is a work, like the entire political system, the binariness of the systems, the system. But just in other countries, there's a conservative and a liberal, but they're all really just globalists. Some act less globalist than whatever political theater, but I think it's all one massive work. But for California to recall 2 candidates I like makes it hard to vote. I see. I got called racist for being in favor of a biracial actress in a role. That step in the universe of everything is screwy. Were you on Twitter? Because if you're on Twitter, man, Twitter is what it is. The goal is to get none of us to vote to make it easier for the still election. I vote just not against candidates. I only vote for candidates. That's how I don't feel like a bitch won't vote. Okay, that's fair. Because in the end, that's our greatest weapon. I think we got if if the object is to win a a war, voting is a weapon, but there's a lot of weapons. There's a lot of bullets in that barrel, so to speak. And what Eric July always talks about is culture, because a lot of this came from culture, from being downstream of culture, for the cultural uh, emplacement of the entertainment industry, the media, and the education system. So, and that's how you got people who were willing to vote for certain people or certain things. So, voting is, if you're interested in that, God bless you. You're not wrong to say that it's an impactful thing, but you do have to. I say other weapons, and maybe voting is the greatest one. I'm not going to say it's not. I just tend to think it's such a work that elections will be decided. That's my opinion. Hey, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope the life, I hope my cynicism is not rewarded, right? Um, but I don't think that last election was the only election that went similarly. I just think that was the narrative for a reason. I think, what happened in January. I think that was one of the biggest psyops where they actually got us to participate in it. I think a lot of the way that the media had dividedness, where a lot of people on the internet saw one thing and you can see, oh man, there's definitely something fucked up. And then the mainstream media presented one narrative, so millions of people didn't get to see it. And then just the events have been skewed in narrative, and it's created this almost parallel universe. Somebody mentioned that. Mads Malmberg talking about the biracial actresses, different universe. But that's what they did, create parallel universe effect by a certain group of people getting certain information, and that information not be passed on to the millions of other people. And now, they've created such divisiveness. And so I think that's why I tend to think, okay, there's something else that's making things like that happening. I hope I'm wrong though. I hope I'm wrong. And Sister Dill says we have a multi-party system here. He's in Croatia, and it's still at work. That's not good. Touche. Lol. As always, they're always trying to make us affordable for others. We got to do our own research. I absolutely think we got to do our own research. Weapons are our greatest weapon. A weapon is our greatest weapon. Talking about like Omega weapon from Final Fantasy. I was amazed. The point that I was wrong for not thinking the orc crap wasn't racist. It's fuck and completely valid. It's what pissed me off. He was lecturing me like it was a superior thought. He was a piece of shit, man. I'm so glad I don't get caught in those type of debates though, because I would never really. I'm not trying to go back and forth with anybody over the internet for any reason. It's just a. Sometimes I'm just like, all right, fuck off, or just delete, or I'll just not message back. Like, okay, whatever. Yeah, and you're right. Grace is not the same as only. Don't see myself voting again either. The system has been rigged for some time now. It's just become obvious how rigged it was the last big election. This is going to be a hot take, but from a conspiracy theory standpoint, that election went exactly as it was supposed to. Every bit of it, like I mentioned, every bit of it. I think we were supposed to see it as a work and get wild up. Hey, that's all part of the plan. That's how we're now extremists. Now we're extremists. Never heard any and they get to put us and start to inhibit free speech based upon the extremists they created by one information stream going to one set of people and another going to another. I've never actually heard shit kicking racists say anything as abhorrently racist as the woke. I mean, either they've normalized some of the most racist and diabolical concepts you could ever think of. Just because. Let me try this one. Just because you see a racist caricature and you're projecting that racist perspective on anyone else doesn't mean we all see it. Only racists do. Very true. That is a nice response to that argument, Wookie. Drop a lot of inbounds. They don't get as mental as these woke wackadoos. Fortify the bitch. Oh, boy. But, yeah, I mean, initially I'm like, oh, man, they're gonna do this for all elections. They've been doing this for all elections, man. They've been doing this. This is theater. This is grand theater to get millions and millions of people to participate in the psyop and to use that psyop to increase the authoritarianism. And hell, Keely Child says, "Hey everybody, what's going on?" Keely Child, shout out to Texas. Exactly, Kai said, if you're reading the monster manual, people read the description and think black people, you're the one that's racist. The mood got to where I had to leave. Yeah, I would get that. I'd probably fight somebody over that. And Pop Culture Republic and Session Deal don't say hey to Keely. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Before people start to funnel in, I was talking about Madden. You know, I haven't played a Madden in a while. I haven't watched really much football. But the reason I was talking about Madden, I was watching the Angry Joe review. I've seen a lot of stuff from Ryan Moody. And I've seen people complain for years and years and years. And I was making a comparison to the entertainment industry. It's a little different. There's definitely some differences, but there's a similar monopolization of culture from Hollywood or monopolization of pop culture, so to speak. And I don't think they'll change. That's why I was bigging up Kai right before he walked in, so to speak. And that's the change, is when there's new content to watch that's outside of the norm and outside of the mainstream, and that becomes popular. That's how it changes. It doesn't change from yelling at, I keep saying the phrase, yelling at the clouds and asking it to rain. It's just not going to happen. These evil companies, even when losing money, still have a monopoly. And they're not going to change. And they don't always lose money. It works, normie bait works. Look at what happened with Disney Plus. And good night, Kelly D. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you retweeting the show. Sharing is caring. And Kelly's really good about sharing, not just me, but lots of people in the fandom. So thank you. Thank you. Feel free to share. If not on Shitter, on Instascam, Facebook, whatever anti-social media you prefer. But yeah, I was just making that comparison. I don't think the entertainment industry is going to change. Just like I don't think Madden's going to change. There's no reason for Madden to change because there's still millions of people who buy it. And there's tons of normies who are eating up What If. There's tons of normies who eat it. Listen, Disney from the first week of the first episode of Mandalorian season 2 up until today and ongoing. I guess I'm not streaming on Twitch. Shout out to the Twitch people who are following me. I got yeeted off Twitch. Not sure what happened. Yeah, so since that week, up until this week, they've had new content each week, and they've grown their platform with it. They've grown their platform exponentially with it. They're still not making money, but neither is Netflix. It hasn't bothered investors because of that potential day. One day it will. So they still have enough wiggle room to keep pushing bullshit down our throats as long as normies don't pick up on it. It's almost similar to what I was saying with the way I was referencing the selection, but it's the way politics and news is differentiated or divided up. One set of people get one narrative, and then the mainstream gets their own. And Kaylee D says, "Oh, you're welcome. Loves helping as much as I can, and I appreciate your help." You just got the 530 subs today. Congratulations, Wookie. Even with all the community guidelines stuff, congrats. Still able to get the 530 subs. I think I'm like 654. So I don't know how that happened. And I don't think it's going to grow that much for me. Not sure. I think I'm starting to reach the ceiling. Nice to be wrong. But I was pretty much where you were, and then we had the one show with Gary, and I jumped it up. So my over 500 has finally stuck. Congrats on that, man. I know you were struggling with that. You've been struggling with that since like I had very few subs. So I mean, you've been getting throttled by the YouTube demon gods, fucking the YouTube Molex by a while. The counting on being the only game on time down the line. That's why they don't care about much profits now. Exactly. And I think it's going to shake out Amazon, Netflix, Disney. And that's what I think is going to shake out like. Could be wrong. Maybe HBO Max keeps itself in existence too. That's possible. But and they got a couple years to figure that out, to try. But that's what I think is going to happen as far as those streaming services, and they'll still be the only game in town. I'm not sure if not Netflix, Amazon's profitable because, like, okay, I don't know how you can tell who's using that Prime just to watch TV or movies, or who's using Prime to buy stuff, which I do. And then with that, Amazon does have their own servers, but any server space you're using for your product, you're not selling. So you do have to write that off in some way, and you're still maintaining. Maintaining these servers is not cheap, especially for these mega platforms. It's not a free thing, even for, again, Amazon has it, but it still is a cost of some sort. So I wonder if Amazon service is profitable relative to how many people actually use it for the streaming service. Yeah, I don't think any streaming service is profitable. I did and I couldn't tell you when. I did some stream and I talked about the Netflix numbers for last year. They were only profitable because they didn't produce anything, or they didn't produce as much, I should say. And yeah, YouTube hates us all. We talked a little bit about what happened with Paulie. If you don't know, he's been fucked with over some bullshit because of community guidelines. And they went through private playlists, age restricted them one by one morning. Jeez. Like I said, I've had stuff age restricted, old stuff. That's complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. That's another way they stay the only game in town. But I mean, I'll piggyback off of what Kai was talking about. Vote. You do have to vote with your wallet. And yeah, West has been fucked. You have to vote with your wallet to try to give them, but I don't know that it matters. Kai beats him to the punch. Age restricts all the shit by default. It doesn't. You not giving Disney doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter, but you giving money to other creators does. That's where it matters. You can't really take them down. They're too big and too a part of. I'm not gonna get to. I am gonna say something about Disney conspiracy theory. If you ever wondered how Disney got the property for Disneyland, it's an interesting story about some of the alphabet people. Not those alphabet people, but alphabet organizations. Not that alphabet organization, government alphabet organizations like the FBI, CIA. They were involved in procuring land. So you kind of wonder Disney's been compromised for a while, so to speak. But as a result, they're not going anywhere. A lot of these big companies, they ain't going nowhere. But if there are smaller companies and smaller properties and independent creators who are able to make a living and create things that we like, that's the win. I'm not saying we're going to get nothing out of Hollywood. Talked about the Witcher short, or not short, the movie. And there's good stuff out there, but it's not going to happen from asking them to do anything because they're not. Watched entire Phase 1 MCU movies, which is a bad call since it made me hate the current runs even more. West uses the C word a lot. I think conspiracy. And Darius Munchausen is watching me on Twitch. We were having issues with Twitch before, but shout out to Darius Munchausen. Thank you for watching me on Twitch. Of course, styling doesn't matter who's voting, it matters who counts the votes. I agree. And not even that matters. Oof. Yeah, it doesn't, because they have so much control over narrative. They can make anyone think anything. Something I've said this kind of hot take, and maybe I need to rewatch some of the Marvel movies still, see if I still feel this way. But my hot take was I only need 4 of the Marvel movies, the whole series. The whole series. There's some honorable mentions of the outside of those four, but I could go without the entire MCU save for four movies. First Iron Man, First Avengers, Winter Soldier, Infinity War. Everything else is just solid to just I. Everything else. Yes, including Civil War, which had some really good action, but was basically a better Batman versus Superman as far as a lot of the like logic. Oh, but it was set up with no, they fell apart like oh, but they've been fighting since the Avengers. No, no. There was a lot of what happened after. Why when everyone got arrested? What was the fallout from that? I guess some what to do with it. Okay, whatever, man. Whatever. And oh, Guardians, it was so fun. I'm not a Guardians guy. James Gunn plays with bunnies. Fuck him. And Essential Dildo agrees. Whoa, me and you are two agreeing. Two in agreement. Honorable mentions. I like the first Captain America a lot. I really like that first one. You guys are gonna get mad when I say this. You guys are gonna get mad. Black Panther. Yeah, I said it. I know I'm not supposed to. There's no still. I said it. It's an honorable mention. Deal with it. Deal with it. I'm not a Guardians guy, Kyle. Everybody likes Guardians except me. I don't. James Gunn is not funny. Chris Pratt is very charming. Chris Pratt is very charismatic. But it's. I just don't like it. And yeah, I know. Now me and Sentient, our psychic link has been broken. Black Panther. It's all right, man. I could. Black Panther is very flawed. It is not really a good movie. And like the CGs in it is terrible. But I really do like Killmonger. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a top five. It's there are movies in the MCU I know to be better than that than Black Panther. I just the only thing I don't like about Black Panther is two things. One, Chadwick being cucked out, and the fact that he loses clean to Killmonger. That's actually I guess that's three things. But the scene where Killmonger is explaining why he's doing this plan, and that Chadwick doesn't give him an obvious ass response. And I know there was a woke rise, but he's saying some old shit about we've been oppressed and this, that, and third. And I'm giving everybody Wakanda weapons, and he didn't say, "Motherfucker, you're from Oakland. Motherfuckers have been killing each other forever, and you just gave them more powerful weapons. Are you crazy? You're gonna cause more of our people to die by doing that." But you can't say that because black on black violence doesn't exist. Chicago doesn't exist to woke people. But if you just change that damn sentence, it's cool. Another thing, the world was pretty cool. It was weird. Okay, how can this city be this technological hub? And this is an honorable mention. This is not like I don't need to see Black Panther again. Right. Part of that, me saying that is I'm not hot. Is Doctor Strange that great? The movie? Do you need if you never saw Doctor Strange ever again, would your life be gone? Is it that great? Is it really? It, you think Doctor Strange is so much better than Black Panther? Okay, you can have that opinion, but all of these movies are kind of samey. They're all just there. They're all just competent. The Ant-Man, yeah, you had the funny scene with Michael, little trope where they do the little transition thing with Michael Pena. But is Ant-Man? These movies aren't that great. None of these movies aren't that great. Let's see. Black Panther did a really good job of Dressing logistics was if this country really existed in a world with everything that's happened in the superhero movie, but had issues. But that's different. I really like the world. I like Michael B. Jordan, even though there was issues with him. Wasn't stopping Z over my typing. Like, it's not the black ethno state. It's not the black ethno state. Black Panther, like that was kind of late after hearing the hype. The hype killed me. I didn't like the hype. I didn't like it when I first saw it. I was like, I've said before, I was like fucking Huey Freeman in the Boondocks when I first saw Black Panther. Like when Obama got elected in the Boondocks, I was Huey Freeman when I first saw Black. Everybody was so hyped, and I'm like, man, this shit was not that good. But I saw it the second time, like, man, it was kind of fun. That's fucking fun. When I saw it the second time, I'm being too hard on this shit. It was fun. And all these movies are kind of trash. The whole MCU is all kind of trash. That's how Black Panther can be an honorable mention on this fucking list as I slam in the shit. There's only 4 movies I need out the MCU. Black Panther is not one of them. It's an honorable mention, along with Captain America, the first one. Kind of went almost put Iron Man 2 in the honorable mention part, even though that's not good either. But all I need is the first Iron Man, first Avengers, Winter Soldier, Winter Soldier I think is the best, and Infinity War. Infinity War could be considered one of the best as well. I don't need Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't need Chris Pratt dancing, listen to his tape. I don't need fucking Age of Ultron either. Fuck Age of Ultron. I know there's some people that like it. I'm not one of them. Fuck that. Fuck most of these movies in general. And I know that's hot. That's oh my God. They're fine. They're fine to watch. They have solid special effects. There's some cool scenes, some solid jokes. None of it sticks, man. Listen, the Fast and the Furious are fine. Fuck it. You know who was right? Like a motherfucker? Martin Scorsese. Those motherfuckers are not films. They are movies. They are pieces of entertainment. Ooh, stay at home podcast. I tend to agree. If Blade was part of the MCU, it would be in my top 5. I like Blade. I fucking love Blade, man. I just fucking add the drop for Blade.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
I had to add the drop. I fucks with Blade. First one was really good. BP doesn't necessarily know. No, it doesn't. He doesn't necessarily know that he doesn't know the details of inner city crime in the USA. Just use that against him in the debate. Well, he's a fucking world leader. He should. He should. I only need to watch the psychedelic scenes in Doctor Strange. They were okay. The psychedelic stuff, the little weird special effects and stuff. Doctor Strange is not better. Has better effects. Yeah, the effects of Doctor Strange are way better than Black Panther. I would go there. But Doctor Strange was just an effect. That's nothing. Captain Marvel exists in the MCU. Black Panther was better than Captain Marvel. That's a low bar there. Captain Marvel, is the MCU really that good? Yes, it's being ruined. I couldn't even watch the damn Marley review because he was referencing all the shitty things. Seeing that WandaVision shit again, oh my God. I want to get one of my girl cousins to punch Jack Schaefer in the face. Jack Schaefer is she's a female. At least that's what she's identifying as. I don't know. Who knows in Hollywood? But she was the showrunner for WandaVision. Didn't even know who Mephisto was. Apparently. Who knows? Man, that could be a lie. The lie detector test to go to another drop. The lie detector test could determine that was a lie because apparently there were indeed Mephisto Easter eggs. And Doctor Strange, as we mentioned, we mentioned him. He was supposed to be in the show. So as far as Jack Schaefer, not knowing who Mephisto was,
the lie detector determined that was a lie. Oh!
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. After Infinity War, everything sucks. They should just do something different. Yeah. They watched Doctor Strange because Benedict Cumberbatch was there. That's the main reason why people flock to the theaters to watch it. That and just the Marvel brand. I think people just want to see Marvel. I agree with this. I need to rewatch Boondocks way more than I need to rewatch Black Panther. Me too. Authenticator. who's a lifelong Doctor Strange fan, says the 2016 movie is terrible and Benedict Cumberbatch can't emote at all. He does seem stiff in the role. He doesn't understand what character he's playing. That has not been clearly communicated to him. And if it has, he's not clearly communicating it to us. And I see that not just from Doctor Strange, but from Infinity War and just from the preview I'm seeing of this No Way Home. There's something funky. There's something weird going on there. MCU is paint by numbers, corporate schlock for the most part. Yeah, this is my point. Not saying, listen, there's some solid movies, but if you look back, how many Marvel movies do you need? For real, for real. You guys let me know in the chat. Everyone's gonna have a different amount, different number. Really think about how much is the MCU. Is something of value really being lost? I know this started. God. Let me go back and see who said they watched the first phase. I'm sure the first phase, well, how my standards have lowered over the past year and a half, 2 years, 4 years. I'm sure I would eat the first phase up, even fucking Thor. I didn't see Thor Ragnarok, so that's the only Thor movie I saw. Remember Thor the Dark World? I mean, think about what's in this fucking universe. There are some there are movies you would never want to see again. And I can't think of who had the. Thank you for everybody in the chat. It's a lot of messages, and I'm not that great at going in at it, going through everything. Some good actors and nobody notices. Okay, I like Age of Ultron. Maybe for the voice actor who voiced Ultron. You know what? Was it James Spader, right? He was pretty good. He was good as Ultron. Yeah, Blade. Got love for Blade. Love Blade. Blade was a good movie. Authenticator says Guardians. Guardians 1, Avengers 1, Cap 1, Infinity War. So we got 2 of the same. I get why people like Guardians. I just it ain't for me. And like I said, Cap 1 was an honorable mention. I did like the retro futuristic thing they did. That was interesting. And they only hit it that one time. And you know what else was good in the MCU? I don't know if it's still part of the MCU. Agent Carter, that show. I think the first season in particular. I think it went 2 or 3 seasons. I remember the second season being as good as the first, but it was solid. Blade was totally cool. Snipes was a dead ringer for Blade. He understood what the fuck he was doing as Blade. That's for sure. So you guys are a little ahead of me. Yeah, WandaVision was a mess. Total mess. You know what? I have seen the Wookiee. I have seen the Mike Tyson Mysteries. It's been a while, but that's something else to watch. Yeah, it's very fun. Very fun. And actually, Mindy Kaling is doing a version of Velma, where I think the show's even called Velma, where there's an adult-oriented, I think it's animated, adult-oriented version of Scooby-Doo. And I said Mike Tyson Mysteries already exists. I said that when the show was announced. And stay at home. Let's talk to Authenticator, saying, hey, Authenticator, appreciate you being here. And Kai has the complete uncensored series of Boondocks. Pretty cool. Stop watching the WandaVision after episode 4 when I heard how it ended. I wanted to stop. Authenticator, we'll get to that message. I wanted to start after 3 or 4. Whenever the fucking Kat Dennings showed up, I was ready to quit, and I kept with it. Saw episode 5, was like gung ho, yeah, because they had the fucking wrong Pietro. Then they fired Gina. Didn't really watch it, and then just seen like clips of it, reviews, and seeing just some of the stuff to happen. That ain't no way, boy. No, that was just there's no mess. And Authenticator says only episode 8 is watchable in retrospect, and they ruined it at episode 9. Oh, maybe Cumberbatch. He was stiff in Sherlock. Maybe he's just stiff. No Way. I'm not too hype on No Way Home. I'm not too hype on that because I did for a lot of reasons. But let's see what Stay at Home podcast is. No Way Home trailer is a strategical mess. Makes people gloss over Shang-Chi and the Eternals, which they've been campaigning hard for people to watch, but that's not going to happen now. I mean, that's that, and I don't think No Way Home is even going to be that good. It's going to make money, though. It's probably going to be one of the only movies this year outside of Fast and Furious that actually, I mean, there's been, Quiet Place, Godzilla versus Kong. There are other movies that are going to actually be in the black. But as far as what Hollywood expects from a normal year movie, I think it's going to get that type of money. And I think it is. Well, you know what? I wonder if they thought it was going to have the opposite effect. I wonder if they thought it's going to get everyone excited about Marvel, but they're not doing the Captain Marvel thing when you got to watch Shang-Chi or the Eternals to see what No Way Home. They're not doing that, so I think you're right. But I don't know that Shang-Chi and the Eternals had a hope anyway. I don't think there was anything for either of them. When China rejected both of those movies, which were both kind of made for China, that was the end for those movies in and of itself. First Tobey Spider-Man was great. I like the first two. Kind of like the first one a little better, though. A lot of people are on the two. I like the first one a little better. They're both really good, though. Yeah, can't stand Wookiee can't stand Kat Denny. I think it's Kat Dennings. Oh man. I kind of want to wrap up in a little. Well, man. See, it's weird when I start a show solo and then I don't mind it because I don't want to just say no and just But it's always weird because it's like I get kind of going on my own. But I guess for a little bit we can discuss it. Give me a second. Let me get to the rest of the comments and I'll toss the link to you on Twitter. But I don't know how long I'm gonna go because it is. What time is it? 1:40 in the fucking morning. Oh man, maybe I should toss you the link. I should just when the chat dies down, just end it. Let me think about it now. Let me think about it. Let me think about how long I want to go. She needs to just shut the fuck up. For a Wookiee. Everything I've seen her in, shut the fuck up. Can I curse on Twitch? I don't know what you can do on Twitch, Darius. And you're trying, fuck shit ass bitch. I see it. I don't know if it's in the Twitch content. It's 1:45. I stay at home. Yeah, it's late. You know what, man? Is there a time that works best for you? So, because it would be a lot easier if I knew, hey, we're going to do a stream together. Authenticate. If you can tell, because I know you asked during Culture Crime Fighters, it's me and Matt's show. It's kind of weird to just, like I said, break kind of the format. If there's a time that works best, Authenticator, maybe we can set aside some time to stream together. Because otherwise it's a bit awkward, man. I just don't see any of those movies getting traction, but no telling what will happen with the Normie crowd. There's no telling with the Normies. They are pretty Marvel. There's a lot of Marvel fandom, and also get this from the Normies, man. Pop Culture Republican, everyone in the chat, or who's watching this on the playback. There's a lot of pent up frustration and pent up energy from the lockdown. Not really, there was a period we didn't have new content. So there are normies who just want to eat up new content, just want to like things. They want something with a big brand they trust like Marvel and Disney just to watch and enjoy. So I don't know. I think, is it possible for Shang-Chi and the Eternals to surprise people? It is. Yes, there's the Delta stuff going around. There's a lot of that. But there's going to be people that I just want to watch some entertainment. I just want to watch a Marvel movie in the theater. So we'll see what happens. Top 5 Marvel movies. And you guys can also list that because I was talking about that. Top 5 Marvel movies not limited to MCU. Ooh, interesting. Blade 1, Spider-Man 1, Iron Man 1, Winter Soldier, Infinity War, an honorable mention, Captain America First Avenger. A lot of people with Captain America 1, Black Panther, Spider-Man 2, Blade 2. Now, if I open it up to non-MCU and just Marvel movies, my number 1 is obvious. It's fucking Logan with a bullet. I think Logan is better than any MCU movie. I'm willing to fight to the death over Logan over any MCU movie. Fight to the death. I love Logan. Oh man, I guess it's more than Ascension dildo. So shout out to the Croatian cereal, whatever breakfast you're eating out there in Croatia. But But yeah, I think Logan is my if I had to pick the rest of this non MC, not limited to MCU, I'd probably toss in Spider-Man 1. I would toss in probably Spider-Man 1. I would say Logan, Spider-Man 1, and between 8 and 10 works well. I gotta think over the afternoon. We can probably stream sometime this week. I'm tired of this crap, so we'll probably be ending fairly soon. But I'll try to get with you and then try to stream because that will be a little bit easier than interrupting everything. Because one of the reasons I like solo streaming is I can stop and end whenever I want. Sometimes, when you're on a large panel and it's like, oh, and then you don't want to leave because I'm cool with everybody, and I don't want to like leave people. So there's that. Stay at home needs to watch Logan again, but it's better than most MCU movies. Your low Wookie says Logan was bad ass. Okay, no worries. Cool. And yeah, Logan's is a good shout. Yeah, Logan is really. I think Logan is probably the reason it's to me such a good movie. Is it still maintains a lot of comic book elements and stays true to a arc. Obviously, it's not really Old Man Logan if you want to go technical and be hardcore, but it tries to stay somewhat true to some elements of it as far as the spirit. Obviously, there's no Hawkeye and all that, but we know. But like it tells a very universal, basic story, and you still get your comic book action, you still get some violence, a lot of violence, but all it's about is a guy trying to save his daughter and take care of his dad. That's really what it's about. His dad with dementia. Yeah, his dad may have killed all the X-Men with his dementia because he has psychic powers. Yes, he might have healing factor and claws, and his daughter may be a genetic experiment with other genetic experiments. But that's basically what it is, and it's in the comic book world. It's in the genre sci-fi-esque world or whatever. But it focuses on telling a very basic human story, and it does it fairly well. So how about the Wolverine? That was a great representation of the Wolverine in that Wolverine suit they didn't use. Yeah, because they did have it at the end. That was way better than the X-Men Origins Wolverine. Until Logan, that was probably... How many solo Wolverine movies did they do altogether? Was it just 3? Was it just Logan, the Wolverine, and Wolverine X-Men Origins, or is there another one? As far as there's obviously X-Men. Days of Future Past. I didn't mention that. I could probably toss that out. Days of Future Past and First Class are really good movies in the X-Men series. And you know what? People forget X-Men 2's impact. And there are only 3. It says Stay at Home, Podcast Jam Cruise. Wiki Lives Matter says I never understood, including Hawkeye. He was a third-tier Avenger at best. It just loads some sense and deal there at Hawkeye. Yeah, and like I liked the show Arrow's first 2 seasons. They were really good. I think, but like the concept of an archer in intergalactic combat is so like we all just dealt with it, but it was stupid. It was very, very illogical and stupid. I mean, it's like under no circumstances, even trick arrow. No, just use different weaponry. Why are you using arrows in a combat situation in a modern era? Like, listen, make no mistake, and especially in this day and age, archery would be a skill to learn because you don't know if shit's gonna hit the fan. Like seriously, and you need to fucking make bow and arrow and shoot motherfuckers with arrows, 10 years after the apocalypse. Who knows? In real life, it may be a valuable skill. But in a fantasy world where there's an Iron Man who makes iron suits for like Spider-Man, who also has superpowers. And there's, you got Falcon who has equipment and everything. And Hawkeye and Black Widow, by the way, just get like at least Black Widow has practical weapons. But like, what the fuck are they really supposed to do? That's never made sense. It's just like going against a tank with a sword. Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. Bro, even street criminals themselves, most people have guns. Like wars, like culture. Bro, the world looks the way it does because guns got invented and were used by certain people instead of others. And they had bows and arrows. So like a street criminal with a gun technically is still at the advantage of Hawkeye. Now, listen, if you go online for some speed archers, there's some archers that could like fucking shoot their shot fairly quickly and accurately. It's not entirely, impossible. But at the same time, it's like, man, he doesn't have any like extra equipment. Or it'd be one thing if maybe he had some other type of weaponry and shit like that, or super strength, and none of that, man. He's just a really good archer. Yes, I remember that scene. We're fighting an army of robots that have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense. That's why fucking Age of Ultron is not a good movie. You don't get to, what is that called? I think it's called lampshade. There's a phrase for that, where you just point, instead of fixing a plot error, you acknowledge it and hope that by making people laugh at it, it just fucking goes away. No, that's not how it works. The biggest problem is that longbow took most of a lifetime of training to be effective. The crossbow, now you can learn that in a month. That's not that crossbow is more effective than shooting. There's so many other more effective weaponry than using an arrow. What the fuck? Why people go brap brap brap, worlds gets conquered? It kind of did go that way, but it's just funny to see it put such a way. Yeah, remember something about that Arrow season 1 online? It's like he's gonna run out of arrows. Yeah, he was putting people down. Arrow season 1 and 2 were pretty good. A random stream question mark? It's kind of become one. I started off. Hell, Arfar, by the way, appreciate you being here. I don't know what this show is. I don't know what my life is on this platform. I'm taking a step back from caring about growth and shit, and just trying to, still want to do professional shit when it comes to the culture crime fighters. I still want it to be professional, but I don't want that pressure of like, oh my god, the streams, and oh my god, I need to talk about this subject because everyone else is talking about this shit. So I want this to have a fun element for me. So yeah, just another red shirt. I guess he's still lurking. Thought he had maybe disappeared. So it started off, I was talking about a link between Madden and the entertainment industry. I didn't really touch too much on the fucking Faye Valentine thing. I mean, just another crazy actor talking shit about the fans. This shit, I would say, pisses me off more to see Mulu because she's actually attacking fans. Hate when fans get attacked. Oh boy, stay strapped or get clapped. George Washington probably some version of that. If you're having fun and entertaining people, you're doing something right. Vigilante enjoys his own time. It's called Late Saturday Night with Vigilante Williamson. I kind of set aside Thursday and Saturday, and it won't be every week. And I'll try to do a better job because Thursday I didn't do a show. I didn't notify anyone. I'll try to do a better job of getting on Twitter. I don't know if anyone can see the discussion tab. It's not quite the same as the community tab. Or maybe it is. Maybe it's the same thing. I don't know. I don't know if anyone can see it, but I'll try to use that as well. Let people know, I'm not streaming on Thursday or this Saturday. But yeah, I guess I just want to do a show each Saturday night, and it kind of can turn into whatever. It's kind of become a random stream. Not sure how much longer I'm going to go. But I started off talking, like I said, about how Madden has had people complaining about the issues. They've had glitches in the game carry year over year, and it doesn't matter. There's enough people. There's a monopoly situation, basically. That's the good thing. Entertainment industry has a similar monopoly. They don't have to change. There's no incentive for Madden and EA to change. There's no incentive for the entertainment industry to change. I guess that's what this kind of is. Here's my final thought of the week. I didn't really go through the week of everything that happened this week. Yeah, EA has that exclusive deal. And I think there's more to that, man, because the NFL is such an expensive property. They could very easily just charge whatever they're charging EA to multiple companies and make that non-exclusive. They could very easily go in when the contract's up, like, listen, EA, here's what we're going to do for you because you have no choice. We're the bag for you. You know, the NFL could dictate terms to EA if they wanted to. And there would be nothing EA could do about it because it's their license. And they could say, hey, EA, we don't want an exclusive license anymore. Just because we're greedy and we want more money. We're still going to charge you trillions of dollars for the license. We're also going to charge 2K games and whoever else wants to pay for the license. Now, how much competition will EA still have for that expensive ass license? Probably just one or two companies. But the NFL, if they wanted to change that, they could. They really could. They could go in next negotiation and change that. They don't want to, though. That's as much the problem as anything. I saw somebody the other day, asked Roger Goodell at a golfing tournament or something what he thought about what's going on. He was like, "Oh, we have a great we have a great partnership with EA." I was like, "Okay, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Can you make the players kneel in the game? You can't make the players play football in that game, bro. You can't pass and run the ball. That game does whatever it wants. You can't even win the game." I know you're referencing the BLM. They can't afford to be woke, is what I'm saying in Madden. That game is too broken. They couldn't even put in and code in wokeness, even if they wanted to. Like, you guys should watch some of that. You think that the entertainment industry is broken? Oh my God. That game is just a complete mess. They have people ending the game having won, and it says they lost. And yet they actually did do. Well, not a superstar, but that's one woke thing they did do. They upped Kaepernick's rating way higher than it should be. Way higher than it should be. So there's that. And people are laughing at Wookiee. Yeah. Can you make them kneel? Twitch is empty, but I can curse. Is there anyone on Twitch? Maybe Derek's still watching me on Twitch. Cool. But yeah, Matt, no, there ain't no kneeling. There's none of that. There's nothing. The only thing they did was put Kaepernick's rating up. Quit that name, go past Summerall. No, they should stop making those games. Come on, Collins out there fighting a good fight for like $60 million. But no, they need to, like I said, they could be evil greedy and still have a good NFL game. They don't have to have the license be exclusive. They could very easily charge what they charge to EA and say, we're not going to do an exclusive license because we want to give other licensees. We want to get more money from those licensees because we can, and we want to give them a chance for you guys to compete. I didn't see this. You should have known that was coming, man. You should have known, like, that's coming. You see what they're doing in Australia. Contain is already broken. Contain is already broken. She's saying that because everything's at work and they're letting you know what's coming. That's not just going to be some isolated person, and that's not going to be. And this is what I haven't seen. You said there's a video on Twitter. This is what I haven't seen it. How she get a free pass For all you know, she was told to say that, man. Maybe they'll play, oh, she's unstable, or maybe they'll play, oh, whatever political slant. But like, this is coming. Like locally they have a mask mandate, but there's a lot of people ignoring it. Only place I did honor it was the post office. Because shout out to T-shirt historian. I finally picked up Fist of the North Star, but it's a manga. It's the first manga. I don't even know how to damn read things. It feels backwards. It's gonna take me some time, but I'm gonna try to get through it. And yeah, FEMA camps. Those FEMA camps. Somebody said FEMA has bought more ammunition than we ever. All the rounds discharged in the Middle East, all combined, or some shit. So those FEMA camps are coming. But yeah, everybody's not honoring the mask or not paying attention to it. And so I'm trying to go into more places and without the mask and just not do it. And sometimes you think, oh, I don't want to get kicked out. It's like, no, I got to build myself up because things are going to get way crazier than I can't go in without a mask for milk, which, have not been stopped, have not been, no one's bothered me this set of mask dates or whatever. But I got to build myself up. Like, no, it's going to get way rawer than this. It's going to get way rawer than, oh, you can't get into this building without a jab. It's going to be you get your jab regularly, whether it's yearly, every bi-yearly, monthly, who knows how often they want you to jab. And the chip will make sure you're up to date on your jabs, and you will be jabbed regardless of its effectiveness, regardless of anything. You will be jabbed regularly, and your chip will let everyone know if you can enter the building or get a job or do everything, and also your social credit score and whatever else they want to put on that damn chip that they will be giving you within the next 5 years. And if not, hey, see what the soldiers are already talking about. And 9mm rounds in the early 2000s. So you'll see what happens, and that's how it's gonna go down. And I pray I'm wrong. But we'll see. And was it still waiting for FIFA women's soccer? I mean, those girls need more money just to make the world fair. Don't they already make more money? Didn't they come out? Did they make more money than the men? And I did. Herschel Walker. Yeah, I did see that. Herschel Walker's running in Georgia as he did in the 80s. But running. He was a running back. He's running for, I think, Congress or governor. I don't know. Hope he wins. Good luck for him. Yeah, mask mandates. Winning a lot. Oh, you're in New Zealand. Oof. Paul, mask mandates this time. Mask mandates this time. One guy got it, and they shut down the whole country. Crazy. Walked around Vegas all week with no mask. Cool. Got harassed one time by overzealous security guard at In-N-Out. Understands his only job, but he risked getting fired, so I put it under my chin. Oh, yeah, I think you said that in one of maybe in the Culture Conference chat. But yeah, I've been walking around maskless here. There's a lot of people wearing them. But there's other people now. I'm not the only one not wearing them. Weird thing is there was no mask made that long time. There was agitation for it. Is it interesting how the West went more fast than the rest of the world? This was a setup. This was setting up for this the whole time. In-N-Out at the Strip, says Wookie. Such a deal, I suspect the globalists didn't want Eastern Europeans in their club. Maybe. What's the best burger chain in the States? Thinking about a trip to Vegas. I'm not a burger guy. I know what I'll take. Who isn't waiting for Rapinoe's Victoria's Secret? Ugh. Not sure if I want that. Yummy. Not so much. All right, guys. This is in kind of a random stream. We already got 90 minutes. It's 2+ a.m., 2:07 a.m. I am ready to pass out. Arfar says either one made with Wagyu beef. I tried Gordon Ramsay restaurant that serves a burger. He doesn't look his nose at them. I don't even know what that is. And all the burger chains are in Vegas. Try them all, judge for yourself. There you go. Something else to do. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. I appreciate everybody for being here. The stream started off a little slow, but people started to show up. So thank you, everybody who showed up Thank you, everybody who's watching this on the playback. Dalton, Authenticator, hopefully I can get with you and try to stream another time. And just thank you, anybody who's been supporting me as I shift things and do things differently. I almost didn't know I was going to do this stream because it took me all day. I've been trying to put up like soundproofing blankets in my studio, and that's been a fucking ordeal. And I still have a bunch to put up. But thank you all. Thank you all. I hope everyone had a good night. I hope everyone who watched the playback has a good night. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do so. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Good night and God bless. Actually, let's see what else we got to say before I get out of here. Out here in Manila, we can't go out in public without a mask and a face shield. If we do, there's a fine. Ugh. Cheers, Kai and Richard. Everyone else is saying good stream. Peace and good night. Okay, everybody. Peace.
Some motherfuckers are always trying